Hey, it's Sam here from KitchenGadgetsClub.com, and I've got a brilliant one for you today. I'm going to be showing you how to do hard-boiled eggs, but here's the twist. I'm going to be doing one batch in the dual zone air fryer and the other batch in the stackable air fryer so that we can compare, because a lot of people say that things don't work very well in the stackable.
First, let me explain to you who we are. If you're new around here, my name is Sam and I've been teaching people how to cook smart with just kitchen gadgets for over 10 years. In fact, we don't even have an oven or a hob in our kitchen. We are double Sunday Times bestsellers and The Independent calls us the best for beginner cooks. But because we've been creating videos for a while, we've ended up with more than 1,500 recipe videos on our YouTube channel. So what we have done is we have created a recipe index organised by gadget to help you quickly find your next recipe video. You can find them all at KitchenGadgetsClub.com/YouTube, and we would be honoured if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel for more recipe videos like this. So now let's get back to the food.
So for these eggs, I'm going to do the experiment a little bit differently. So I'm going to do one batch of hard-boiled eggs for the dual, and that's good. There can be those ones. And then I've got double the amount of eggs in this bowl. And then what I can do is we can do one lot in one of the stackable drawers and one lot in the other. And then we can see how well they cook in comparison to each other, whether one is slower than the other, because people often talk about the one up top being better at cooking compared to the one below. So let's put this to the test, shall we? And let's get on these hard-boiled eggs. Right, so we've got 4 eggs, and these are the ones that are going to go in the Ninja Dual. So we're going to pop all of these in one drawer because I've used this so many times. We've never had any issue with one side not cooking them compared to the other, so they'll be fine as is. So you want to turn it on, you want to set it to bake, and then you're looking for a temperature of 120 Celsius, and then a time of 16 minutes. And then press start, and that's those ones on. So now let's do our stackable. So as you can see there, double the eggs, so we're going to be putting half in each. Second 2, so gently do it because you don't want it to crack, because sometimes it happens. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? And then the others in the bottom, so then pop those in. And what's beautiful here is we can use the match facility when we get it on. So you want to set it to bake again, and then obviously to match. And then you're looking for 120 Celsius. And then we're looking for a cook time of 16 minutes. And then as you can see, both drawers are flashing, so that's good. That means we've done it right. 16 minutes, 120 Celsius, 250 Fahrenheit, and we'll see you when they're done.
Whilst we're cooking, let me introduce you to Kitchen Gadgets Club. We recommend joining it because it's brilliant for kitchen gadget recipes with step-by-step photos. It's got lots of easy recipes. You can join for as little as £1 a week. It has a library of over 1,000 plus kitchen gadget recipes, and we add 4 new exclusive recipes every single week. Here are just a few of the recipes. Each recipe has both metric and imperial, step-by-step photographs, plenty of useful kitchen gadget advice from experts. Just take a look at some of the photographs. And of course, you can join by heading to KitchenGadgetsClub.com/join. And now, shall we get back to the food?
And we've beeped, so that means the dual ones are done. So we're going to pop these in in a red bowl that we've got ready for an ice bath. Excuse the kiddie ice cubes. I don't actually have any ice cubes in at the moment, and these are what I always end up turning to when I need to do an ice bath. I know, a bit kiddified, isn't it? But it works. So you want to pop them in there, and they are ready now. So what this does is it slows down the cooking time on them, stops them cooking, so that we can do it as a proper experiment. And then over here we've still got 48 seconds left, so we'll be back soon for those. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we've beeped. So should we do these ones? So we're going up top first. So that's your hard-boiled eggs on the top shelf. So we're going to go with a light blue for these ones. So we've already got the dual ones and the red ones. The light blue is going to be these ones. So they're going in their ice bath. So now, the last ones. So these are going to go in the dark blue. And then we are ready for peeling and doing our full experiment and seeing what they're like. So before we jump into the next recipe, what I want to talk about is air fryer, easy every day. You know, if you've been a listener to our podcast or watched our videos for a while, you've probably heard of it. But if you're using a stack, did you know it was actually made with the Ninja Joule in mind? It was made so that those that had a dual air fryer had a cookbook to use, and they understood the difference between basket air frying and dual air frying. So every single recipe in the cookbook has basket and dual air fryer instructions, and it also changes the recipes slightly on certain ones. For example, ones where you could cook the food directly in there versus needing a container if using a basket. We cover both of those in this book. So let me show you inside it so I can actually give you some examples of how you can use it. And of course, it's available on Amazon. Simply search on Amazon Sam and Dom Milner, search air fryer Sam and Dom, whichever you prefer. And then, for example, when we've done the accessories picture, we've got little rectangular casserole dishes, which of course we recommend for duals. And then we've got a lot of great recipes in here, but I'm just looking for some examples that would help you, particularly if you've got a dual. For example, in the meat chapter, we cover a beef Wellington, but of course a big beef Wellington wouldn't fit in a dual, so we also give you instructions on how to do a small one or to do minis, depending on what you prefer. We also have symbols with every recipe so that you know which air fryers it's best suited for. So you'll notice every single one has the dual symbol, but some are suitable for air fryer ovens and mini air fryers. That is we also have a doner kebab recipe in there. Then another great that we have that's brilliant for the dual is homemade fish fingers and chips. So then you can be doing the chips in one drawer, the fish fingers in another. Another one that's interesting, if you do have a dual, is the fact that we've got soup in there and you can roast it in the bottom versus putting it in a dish if you've got an air fry basket. We've got a macaroni cheese, so you could use a rectangular casserole dish in the dual versus a square one if you've got an air fry basket. So it's a nice mix of the different ways that you can actually do it. The same with cauliflower cheese, you know, getting a dish that fits a dual is the key to that. And then our favourites for using for the dual is our 7 days of dinners. Because in this, we have these some favourite blue silicone dishes of ours. And what's brilliant here is we did a moussaka and we did one in each drawer. So you could actually freeze one if you wanted to. And the best of them all was the toad in the hole, because you could do a small toad in the hole in each dual drawer, or if you had the air fryer basket, you could just do one big one. We loved that for this. And again, with the curry, you can cook the curry in the bottom when you've got a dual. And then when you're doing a lamb roast, you can do the lamb in one and the potatoes in the other. And it's just got so much choice if you've got a dual. And the same with the sausage rolls, you can do half in one drawer, half in the other. And you can, we also show you how to do mini cheesecakes so you can fit them in the different drawers. And same with shortbread, and we have some afternoon tea in there as well. So that is a brilliant one for you. So our hard-boiled eggs have all finished cooking. They've all done their ice bath. And if you're wondering how long for an ice bath, it's simply to stop them cooking and so that they're cool enough for you to handle. So it really doesn't have to be long. It's not like doing pressure cooker ones where it has to be a precise number of minutes. So these red ones here, These are the ones that are done in the jewel. And then this is the top drawer of the stackable, and this is the bottom drawer of the stackable. So shall we see how they're all doing and how they compare? So I'm just going to move these two to one side there. So tap the top and the bottom, give it a really good roll, and then you can use your water from your ice bath to get the shell off. And then give it a rinse in your water, and that's your first one done. So now number 2, tap the top and the bottom, roll it, and then use your water to rinse them a bit. So that's number 2. And there's number 3. So the last one for these. And then remember your rolling technique. Oh, this one's not going as well as the others. So that's your first ones. So if you're new to hard-boiled eggs, then that is how easy it is to do them in the air fryer. But of course what you're learning today more is how they compare with different gadgets. So I'm just going to empty out this water bowl, and then I can keep them in there whilst we do the other eggs. So now let's work on that top stack, shall we? So the top stack is supposed to cook things faster than the bottom stack. So these are the eggs we did in this one, and in comparison the bottom is supposed to be slower. So if there's going to be any difference in eggs, I would imagine it'll be in the dark blue bowl instead. So just crack them in the same way. This shell's coming off cleaner, but behind the scenes I've gone out and done the skull pickup in between doing the first bowl. So they've been sat in an ice bath a lot longer. So if you're thinking back to how long to ice bath, well, if it's longer they do peel better, but I think it depends on how much of a rush you're in. So that's that one. Just move that out of the way a bit. And then let's give it a lovely roll. So that's egg number 2. Grab the third one, top, the bottom, and roll. Oh, I don't think this one's taken as well as the other ones, unless I was just a bit too heavy-handed that time. Because if people are talking about uneven cooking here, this one feels a bit under compared to the others. Oops. And then what about this last one? So again, that one's not come out very well. So that's all of them from that batch. So I'm just going to clear out this water. And then into the clean water they go. And that's the floppy half an egg. So now let's do the last batch. So this last batch are the ones that are done on the bottom of the stack. So the bottom of the stack is the area that people seem to complain quite a lot about. So let's just see how these perform. These feel really hard actually. We'll see when we get into them. So that's that one. Roll it right over. And then, so that's number 2. Number 3. Right, I'll split the shell off that one. And last but not least, the last one, hey? It's all part of the experiment, and that's the last one. So let me get rid of that. So there you have it, those are the last. So there you have it, you've got them there. So that is the normal Ninja Jewel, and this is the stackable. That's the top, that is the bottom. So now shall we slice into them and see what they're like? So let's start with your normal regular Ninja Jewel. So grab one out and let's slice them in the middle. after all those years doing eggs in the air fryers. So what do you think? Do you think they look good? I do. I think they look fabulous. So now, round 2, let's now do the top. So I really wouldn't think there was much in that really. But hang on a minute, if we're talking about uneven cooking, look at that. Same time and temp, let me get it a bit closer. And look, one of them is hard or hard-ish, and the other one I would consider as more of a softer boil. And then this one just fell to pieces. So if you look at that one, that is kind of how you would have an egg if you were at a restaurant and you were having a tuna salad. So if you compare those, I'm just going to move those up a bit because they're all part of the same egg set. And then if you look there, we definitely have a problem here with uneven cooking, because them lot there are all part of the same set, and so is that one. But look at that one, that is well under. And then let's go with the final lot. Oh, lost my yolk. And there you go, and that one there. So have a look at those. So as you can see, the worst ones was them in the top, and it was the uneven cooking there across that line. You can really see it. So if you're wondering about the uneven cooking that you can experience using the Ninja Stack, it's very true, it does happen. Another food I really noticed it with, which I'm going to be doing a video on as well, is steak, because I found that the heat was coming up higher than the position of the steak. So unless you have the steak on the grill, it's not going to get it. And I ended up with one which looked rather raw, and one that was a perfect medium rare. So, you know, that does actually happen when you do the steak that way. So do bear that in mind. There is such a thing as uneven cooking with it. I mean, these eggs are a prime example. If you're doing something like toast, universally we've found that they were all the same. They were just felt like they were a little underdone compared to cooking them in the Joule or cooking them in another air fry brand. So, you know, that is the first example of proper undercooking. So we're going to do another recipe now, and we can show you this in more detail. Thanks for watching, and now you've seen a glimpse into our ovenless world. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is what I call one of our step-by-step instruction videos. If you would rather have short and sweet, don't forget to check out our shorts. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, TikTok and Instagram. And if you want to find videos quickly, if you head over to KitchenGadgetsClub.com/YouTube, you can see an A to Z list of all our YouTube videos, so you can find videos by Kitchen Gadget. And I'll see you again soon.